Hey guys, so check this out. I got a new jigsaw. I've been doing lots of carpentering on the house, doing lots of trim work, and I take this table saw here, rip the boards, and I have to do a lot of notching. So I got this new jigsaw from Jellas. Of course, it's 120 volt, like pretty much any jigsaw. This is a 6.6 amp, and I've been using a Black & Decker, and I switched over, and we'll see how this one does, if it's even better. It says no load speed, 800 to 3,000 so I guess motions per minute. Max cutting capacity, wood 110 millimeter metal, 10 millimeter, blade type T. Okay, I'm wanting to get this thing opened up because I'm wanting to actually do a little bit of cutting this season, some more trim work, and I'll probably need the jigsaw to do it. So I want to get this thing opened up and check it out. So we have a, what do we call it, a fence that goes on in a guide. But it's definitely heavier than my old one. It's got an owner's manual there, a user manual, and definitely feels extremely well built. I like that. It's got an Allen key here attached to the cord, and of course there's your 110 plug. And it looks like we can put this guide in. I've never actually used one of these because my saw did not even come with such a thing, so I've never used one of these on one. But if you're wanting to cut a straight line with a jigsaw, you know how hard that can be. It's pretty impossible unless you really take time to cut a straight line. But with this, you should be able to put this thing in here. This actually, I could have used this yesterday. So how cool is that? We can actually see the way this is made. It will actually inset all the way to just a thin cut. So you can do a real thin cut, or you can do a extremely wide cut. So it looks like it'll do a cut up to 15 centimeters. So here we have the trigger, and you can pull it up and actually lock it into position. And then over here we have a rotary, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 speeds. Okay, so if you want to adjust your angle, you take this Allen key that's here on the cord and go right here, loosen these Allen screws, and you can adjust this angle to whatever angle you want. So in the box, looks like we have an adapter here for vacuum, and you can put this adapter in here or probably use that, but I'd say this adapter is what you would use if you're going to use a vacuum on it, which is cool. My other one does not have such a thing, so that would be cool if you want to use it indoors, especially, and keep everything dust free. And then we have all kinds of blades. We got metal blades, we got wood blades, all different kinds of blades. These are even some longer blades here, different styles. That's definitely a metal blade there. Some really aggressive wood blades. There's like all kinds of different blades in here, so we're going to try one that's fairly aggressive, but not too much because we don't want to splinter the wood up real bad. So we're going to try one like this right here. It's not the most aggressive, but it ought to cut good and not splinter my wood up too bad. It says right here, clean for wood, so this ought to do a nice clean cut. Alright, so to put the blade in, we got this little roller here. We can just push this up, put our blade in, let it back down, and it locks in position. It's not going to come out nowhere. Also have a nice little guard here on the front. Okay, so it says this here switch, I had to look because I wasn't sure. I've not used this thing yet. This is the air blowing switch to set your jigsaw in air blowing mode, dust extraction. You can flip this on to blow the air out the back, obviously. Okay, then here on the side we have this switch here. There's 4 different settings, 0 through 3. So at 0 setting, the blade moves up and down in a straight line for smooth cutting. At 3, the blade moves in a elliptical stroke for fast, aggressive cutting. So if you put it on 3, it's going to obviously cut a little faster because of the different way it angles. It says that setting 0 suits medium hard materials, hardwood, aluminum, and thin workpieces. This setting can also be used for making round cuts and sharp edge cuts. Setting 3, soft materials such as wood, plastic. Use this setting for faster and more aggressive cutting. Okay, so on here we got this button that turns on the LED light right here, which is really cool because a lot of times you can't actually see your line and your blade where you're cutting with this little LED light, which I've never had on one before. I've just had plain jigsaws, nothing like this thing. But you can turn that light on to actually see your line better. So I've got this set on number 1 right now. When we pull the trigger, and you can see it's not extremely fast on number 1, but that would do a lot of cuts that you would need. We'll crank it up to number 3 right here. Now, that's a lot faster for sure. And wow, I mean number 6 is extremely fast. You can see I had that on number 6. This thing really moves on number 6. Now, it did say that you need to squirt a little bit of oil on this wheel right here, because this blade sits in a groove on this wheel. So you need to put a few drops of oil around there, probably just 1 drop every so often when it dries out. Alright, so let's try cutting some wood with this thing and see what it does. Okay, so this board I've got here to cut is just about a 1/2 inch thick. It's not a very thick board, and it is actually just soft pine. It's treated. Just a scrap piece I thought I'd try cutting on. So we'll just see how good it does. So the first cut I done great. Second cut done good. I actually set it on 3 for the second cut. This first cut, it actually looks like it burnt the wood, but most of that actually looks like just the paint off of that. I thought it was burnt. And I did see a little bit of smoke here toward the end or something, but that wood does not have a burnt smell, so maybe it's just the paint. But the second cut, when I set it on 3, you can see it done a lot cleaner cut. Very smooth, clean cut with this blade, a lot better. So far this thing actually works a lot better than my little Black & Decker, so definitely the one I'm going to be using from now on. It does a great job of cutting like that. So this thing actually is impressive. So far it's not running hot. I ain't done a lot of cutting with it, but I don't even feel like it's warming up yet. So I'm so used to using that little Black & Decker. This thing is far superior to what I'm used to. Has a lot more features and stuff that I've never used and may not use, but if you want them, they're there. And this thing runs like a top. It's got plenty of power, definitely lots of power. So thank you guys for watching. I'll do another review later, maybe if this thing has a problem or if it does good and I use it a lot. I'll make a review saying how it does, but so far I think this is a real good quality. So I will put a link to this below where you guys can check this out. This is actually a pretty darn good deal. Thank you guys for watching. Click the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Catch you on the next one. Right on.